Chef Sel was recorded on a cell phone in front of a fake audience.
Hey guys, Chef Sel right here. Boy, am I running out of things to do there. Anyway, hello, YouTube. Chef Sel right here. Chef Sel's, been a while, crazy cooking show. So listen, we've been going through the alphabet, as you may or may not know. Once every week or so, we're putting one out. The most Googled recipe by state. Now we're getting into Michigan. Actually, it was like 102 yesterday. It's August. But anyway, listen, here's what they've been Googling. Woo! Balsamic cherry pie with a black pepper crust. So, I kind of like this one because it's different, right? And you know, the rest of them were a lot of fun. There were a couple of different ones in there. But this is not something you usually see as the most Googled by a state, right? They must be running out of things to do too. Just kidding, Michigan. We love you. We love you very much. Okay, so why do I love this one? Well, because it's delicious. Kind of easy. Just follow me step by step. We're going to make the crust. We're going to do a lattice top. Don't get scared. No. We're not rebuilding your fence. Not that kind of lattice. You'll see. I mean, if Grandma can do it. Anyway, for the third try here, the reason why I really do love this one is it's not one of those, you know, like Chicago had its deep dish, and there's a lot of people that, you know, it's not the authentic one. You're not going to hear a lot of, hey, that's not the authentic balsamic cherry pie with the pepper crust. You're just not going to hear, you know, what are they going to say, right? Ah, my great-grandmother, I used to watch her do it. What were you, like, -5? I used to watch her go down there by the river. Yeah, on a big rock. She would do everything on that rock. She would make the dough. She would grow the cherries. I'm telling you, this is not authentic. It's authentic. Trust me. I think. All right. We're going to make the dough first. I already did the boring stuff. Here, see? No, it's not dirty flour. That's 1/2 teaspoon of crushed black pepper, fresh if you got it. And we have 4 cups of AP flour in here. About 1 tablespoon of white sugar, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, give it some flavor. And what we're going to do is we're going to cut in some very, very, very cold butter. 2 sticks and about 1 tablespoon above that. We're going to chop it up and cut it into here. I want you to get a spring-form pan. If you don't have one, you can use a regular pie plate, but it's a deep dish, right? It's a deep dish cherry pie. So don't forget about that. And right back here, I have some ice water. As we kind of put this together, we're going to pour just a little bit, maybe 2 or 3 tablespoons to start. And you'll see as it comes together, you stop. You don't want a gooey, stretchy dough. You want an almost crumbly dough. Refrigerate it for at least a ½ hour after you saran wrap it. And then we move on to the cherry pie filling, all right? Just follow me step by step. You'll be fine. You'll be cherry pie, black pepper experts or something. So in my fridge, take it out when it's ready. The diva, right? Yeah. Your close-up is due in 5 minutes, Mr. Butter. Yeah, see? 2 sticks and about 1 tablespoon extra. So I'm not going to tell you to work super fast on this, but try to work a little bit fast. All right, so speaking of fast, let's get this butter out here. And you see, I'm just cutting it into very, very thick pats of butter. It doesn't have to be perfect because you're going to grind it all up anyway. I'll show you how we're going to do that. And we got this real ½ pound here, right? It's really a ½ pound of cold butter. Everything has to be cold. Hey, Chef Sel, why does everything have to be cold? I'll tell you. She flakes up on you, right? She flakes up on you when she's cold. When she's warm, that butter, and it bakes, it just kind of goes, bleh. You get a soggy crust too. We'll show you how to fix that one also. And now I'm going to cut these pats or tablespoons of butter into smaller pieces. And you want to get, I hate using cliches or the phrases that they always use, but this one you can't escape, okay? You want them pea-sized, these pieces of butter, pea-sized. And then we're going to take it and we're going to slop it down and not really knead it on this board here or the tabletop, whatever the heck you have. We're not going to do that. We're just going to kind of bring it all together and then wrap it up and refrigerate it at least a half hour. Then we start with the cherry filling. It's not such a big deal. All right, so I've already used the whisk. That's a side. That's not strong enough to cut the butter in case you get any crazy ideas. And that's all going in. Somewhere we had one of these cutters, right? They cut into the butter and they're round shaped. If I can't find mine, I'm going to use something else that's round shaped, and you probably don't have a cutter anyway, but use a big spoon. That's all. I just cut it against the round of the bowl. It takes a little longer, but I know you have time. I've been watching you guys. I'm like a stalker. All right, so first thing you want to do is you want to coat it. Here, coat it up. Get it all coated so they look like little square ghosts. And go ahead, do it. Do it. Chop it up. Chop it up. A lot of people say use your fingertips. You can use your fingertips. And they say, no, but that makes the butter soft. Then refrigerate it a little longer. All right. All right, so I'm snippy today. What do you want from me? Okay. So once this is all cut up the way I like, I'll show you the next step. See? It's all in there, all kind of peed up. Yeah. Okay. Let's get rid of some of this stuff. See, we're really baking here. All right, so that butter's in there. And the last thing to do here for this step is to get this cold water in. And I'm going to start with 4 tablespoons. Okay? A little bit more, I don't know. Don't go over 4 or 5 though, just to start, okay? And get yourself a nice spatula. And just start mixing it together. Chop up some of the bigger pieces of butter that are in there. And go, mix it together. Now you're gonna say, it's not happening. You know what? I don't like Chef So anymore. It's not happening. Chef So's stupid. I may be stupid, but I do know how to make pie. Trust me. If there's one thing I know, well, maybe 2. All right. So, 2 more tables of spoon, cold water. And when we flatten this out and wrap it to refrigerate it, try to get it nice and flat. I mean, some people just make it like, you know, a cylinder and they put it in there. You want the cold of the fridge to hit as much surface area as possible, right? All right, so I'm continuing to cut, mix, scrape, cut, mix. Let's see. If it holds together, which it is, not too bad, still a little bit too dry. I'm going 1 more tablespoon and that should be fine. And as they say in the car commercials, your tablespoons may vary. So make sure you get it mixed together and use a really big bowl for this. Otherwise, you're going to be dust busting over the weekend and the next week. It's going to be really. Now, just by mixing around, you're going to see large chunks happen. It's kind of a good sign. So I'm going to see if I can get one big, large clump out of this, because it's going to keep absorbing once it's in the fridge. So if it's a little bit too flaky for you now, you're going to have to just believe me on this. Don't go too far with it, you know? Yeah, I'm liking it. Okay, just so it holds together. Let's try to bring it over there. It's just holding together. See, it'll crack apart if I move my little digits too much, right? All right, so let's get the whole thing out. They say turning this out onto the board. Turning it. Bro, brother. So don't knead it. Don't get crazy. You don't want a tough dough. Just bring it together. Keep your hot mitts out of the butter as much as you can, or as short amount of time as you can. And that's pretty much where we're at. So like I said before, I'm going to flatten it out so we get a lot of cold touching it in that fridge. And that's pretty much the story. So I'm gonna wash my hands, I'm gonna wrap it, I'm gonna clean up a little, and we're gonna start this cherry pie filling. Balsamic cherry pie filling. Yeah, but it's not the authentic. And the star of any show that includes these is the star of that show. You know what I mean? Cherries, pitted cherries. My lovely wife Nance bought and pitted 3.5 pounds of fresh cherries. You got to get fresh cherries. I mean, once you see the ingredients in this thing, you're not going to want to go get the jellied thing and the thing in the can with the sauce. You'll find them. 3.5 pounds. Pitted. Pitted. Be careful. The teeth, the whole bit, right? All right. Heavy bottom saucepan. We're going to put it on a medium heat. Anyway, I had that 3.5 pounds of pitted cherries in here. I added 3 tablespoons, just a regular butter, no big deal. 1¼ cups of turbinado sugar. Do not panic. If you can't, it's kind of a raw sugar, that's all. If you can't find it, fold up the tent. You can use brown sugar if you want, if you really just want to get a regular down the aisle sugar. Health food stores might have this. You might have it in your regular store. I have to ask the wife if she was here, if she were here. I would ask her. Turbinado, okay? It's beautiful. Get that in. And over here, I'm sprinkling in 1/2 cup of all-purpose flour. That's in. We got 2 tablespoons of honey. Get that in. And I pammed this little container or bowl or whatever so it comes out a little bit easier. So honey's in. That's a good thing, right? And a teaspoon ground cloves. Man, this is like serious stuff. I didn't realize how serious it was until I was making it or something. Yeah. Here you go. Balsamic. Let me see if I can get this without spilling it. 3 tablespoons of this balsamic. That's good stuff. And cornstarch going in. 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. 1, 2, and a little bit more. I have about 3.6, a little bit over 3.5 pounds of cherry. So I add just a little bit more, but you don't have to do that, or you can do it. Either way is going to be fine. You know how I work, right? It's not a big deal. All right, so this is the stuff. We're going to go to medium. And without boring you, I'm going to show you what it looks like kind of halfway through. This is the ½ process, and then a ½ hour to cool down. And by that time, that over there, in the fridge here, will be your pie dough ready to roll out. And then we'll lattice it, bake the hell out of it, and eat the you-know-what out of it. Yeah. All right, we'll be back. It's been only about 20 minutes, but take a look. See? Look how thick it is on the bottom there. And you want to fold these cherries. Fold them when you stir. Don't smash them up. It's not a cherry jam pie. You can find that on Martha Stewart's website. See what I'm doing here? Just fold it slowly over itself. I'm doing this just to show you. You know what I mean. It's almost ready to go. So we're going to let this go another maybe 2 or 3 minutes and let her cool and then build this sucker. There you go. She's all chilled, still pliable, but, not frozen. Just use your head. You're going to have to roll it out, so make sure it's not like a rock. And just unwrap it. 2/3 of it going to go in your greased and dusted and parchment papered springform pan. So there's that, right? So I'm going to measure this out, make 2 lumps, and then roll them out, and I'll show you how to do the lattice. Very easy. Don't go, oh my God, there's no way I'm going to. Don't. You do this any old which way you want. What I mean by that is you can flour a surface, you can roll it out, or 2 layers of parchment paper, put it in between. There's a lot less dust in your kitchen. I'm telling you. It's going to frustrate the roaches. But don't worry. And I have a pretty wide rolling pin here. You can use a regular rolling pin, but I have these little, I call them training wheels. It's just kind of these sticker things that you hang up paintings and stuff. I don't know, whatever it is. And it's about, almost 1/4 of an inch. And that's how thick you want this dough, so you don't have to worry about going off the end and making it too thin. I'm not the greatest roller, so that's why I do it. Start in the middle and work your way out towards the edge. And like I said, this is going in the bottom and it's going to come up the sides, and then we're going to lattice the balance of the dough. The balance of the dough. I'm so freaking smart. And And I mean, there you go. See? Perfect. Perfect. And it's easier to pick up too, so you can just kind of throw it in half. And we're going to lay this right into this pie pan. Try to center it and let it flip right in there. Pretty simple, straightforward. Get it down in that corner. You know, you don't want any C corners. You don't want to see corner steals. All right? Beautiful. Now I'm going to roll out the lattice part, the 1/3 of the entire, you know what I mean. You know what I mean. Do you know what I mean? All right, so let me do this, and we're going to cut it into 12 1-inch strips. 6 are going to go this way on the pie, 6 that way, and they'll be the shape of the pie after you form it. You'll know what I mean after you see what I do. All right, I had this chilling while I was cutting these strips. Came out to 12, but I'm not going to use the little ends here. I might, I don't know. You'll see what I mean. So I have pretty much 10 strips here. I'm going to put the filling in now. And if the filling's sitting around a little bit, you might want to drain some of the liquid out. She comes right back to life. I could eat it like this. Trust me, just give me a ball game. That's all I ask. All right. And over here I have some sugar. I'm going to coat the bottom. It kind of insulates it a little bit from any excess liquid. You don't want a lot. Just do a swirl. Maybe a total of 2 tablespoons is fine. Maybe a little more, because maybe that wasn't enough. And do the same thing we did with that flour, just kind of banging around. I want to thank my friend Miriam Scott for telling me this tip, by the way. She's a famous newscaster. That's down. Fill her up. Fill her up regular, dude. The almost illegal cherry pie with a pepper crust. Now, give it a couple of bangs. Now, since it's a spring-form pan, it's got very high sides, you see? So your top's going to kind of dip in. It's called a dipping top for all you bakers. I made that up. You'll see. It's okay. And this is pretty simple. So I'm going to start in the middle. I'm going to do 5 and 5, okay? So we'll try this one first on the end. Just pinch it. Lay it down across and pinch it. See, I don't think that was very hard, do you? No. That's all. And just gauge it, you know, you'll gauge it. If you want to start from the other end, you can do that. Put that one down here, about the same distance. Pinch it, lay it down, push it over those deliciously flavored cherries and stuff. And you can leave it like that for now, that's fine. And we'll just do the next one, leave a little space. And like I said, you just got to do it. You got to do it by eye. You got to grow up and get it done. Okay, that looks kind of good. Now we're going to take these and fold them back. Don't make me angry. Okay. So you're going to take 2 and put them down again. Every other one. Every other one. That's okay. Let's get this one on here. Center it. Left to right. And that looks about right. And then lay these down. And then take the other 2 and move them up. Lay the next one down. Going to be 5 going this way. That's good. Bring it back over. Try to keep them straight. Don't do this after 50 beers. Trust me, I've tried it. Your guests will go right home. Okay? And pull back. The one that's next, you're going to be alternating. And now we're going to gently now make sure that it's touching all of the cherry filling. And now after I kind of cut the ends off there and make it nice and neat around the edges there, we're going to put a little glaze on this and a little sprinkle of some interesting stuff. So stay around. Let me clean the ends off here and I'll show you what we got. See? Not bad. I had a little left over. I made a little rim around the edge there. You don't have to. But if you do, push it away a little bit. Don't let it hang over the sides because she breaks when you take the thing off, right? The thing, yeah, right. Technical term. Now you want to put it in the fridge. We're going to make this brush on, which is what I call it, okay? It'll give it a nice color and a nice shine. Stales. Excuse my refrigerator. Let me set that all up and I'll show you. All right, she was chilling for about 30 minutes. And you just want to get it, you know, get that butter in there cold. That's the whole thing about the cold and the ice water, and keep it cold and don't use your fingers. It makes it warm. Keep it cold. Plus, she won't shrink on you. She won't shrink on you when you bake it. You ever see your pie crust kind of creep down the pan? Because you put it in there all gooey. Get the frickin' refrigerator. Okay, 375 on your oven. Put a rack, not on the bottom, but one up. I have a rimmed cookie sheet. I'm gonna put this on here because she bubbles over on you. And 1 egg, tablespoon of cold water. Cold is the word of the day, right? Well, the egg was cold. Mix it with cold water, cold pie, cold crust, and just brush this on lightly. Don't dig the brush in there like it's some kind of knife, okay? Because it's another reason why you kind of chill this dough so it doesn't indent every time you do something to it. So we're going to put this in. You want to check it after 45 minutes and maybe brush it again. And total at 375, you know, between an hour 15, hour and a half sometimes, you'll see it's going to get nice and bubbly and brown. The inside is already cooked, as you remember. So that's going to be the bubbly part. And just lightly put this on here. You don't have to gob it on. Don't get all goopy. And just be careful with these little lattices, you know, the lati. And if you see the edges that are sticking up here on the ends here, if you see them getting too dark, I got some foil ready. He's going to put a ring of foil around the edge there, around the outer edge, okay? And let it keep baking. Just don't push things. The doctor will see you now. Hour 25, something like that. I did a couple of things which I'll show you. So let me get it out first. Things are really hot around here. At 375, it's pretty hot. But I wanted to show it to you right out of the chute, if I can. We are really cooking here. You see what I did? I put this aluminum foil around the edge, and it's really beautiful. It's really, really, really beautiful. It's still sizzling. It's crazy. So here's the breakdown. Total, let's call it a total hour and a half. At around 45 minutes, I brushed on some more of that water and egg, sprinkled on a little table sugar, white sugar, just a little bit. Get a little crunch, right, and a little sweetness to the top there. And I have to tell you, I built this little rim. I went around, and I let her continue to bake until she's golden the way she is. And now I have a cooling rack here, just a basic cooling rack. I'm not taking it out of the pan yet. I'm going to let it kind of keep its shape, so to speak. Can I say that? And we're bringing it over slowly. Here we go. And setting it up on here. Now the reason I'm going to keep this foil on here is interesting, actually. Very interesting. Because it's not filled all the way to the top with filling, the top edges tend to curl as it bakes. They kind of shrink in and they curl, okay? So this thing is a natural don't curler policeman. It polices the curling to a point. So I kind of pinch it. See, I pinch it together so it doesn't continue to curl. And it also doesn't brown, which is really what it browns, but it doesn't brown a lot, right? It doesn't burn. So let's keep that. Let it cool a good gosh. Yeah, let it cool a good gosh. In the meantime, why don't we do this right here? Please subscribe. Tell your friends. So in the meantime, I'm going to let her cool. And I just tend to like to touch things when they come right out of the oven. I don't know. Anyway, we'll unveil it and we'll show you. Stick around. I couldn't wait. It's still smoking a little. Look at that. Look at that crust. Flaky, crispy, and the inside, it's just insane. Cherry, balsamic, heaven. A little bit of pepper in that crust too. I have to get some of that crust in there. I have to, right? Isn't that what a pie's all about? This might be messy, but I have to. Here we go. I know I'm offending. I have to tell you, not that sweet. Really not that sweet. Cherries are sweet. Balsamic is naturally a little bit sweet. Crust is just enough of it. Picture perfect. Look at that. Whew. Oh, Instagram, where are you?
First thing I'm gonna do is punch your mama in the mouth.
Anyway, Michigan, you are something else, you guys. Wow, what a choice. Woo. Pepper crusted balsamic cherry pie. Come on, please. Again, right there. Subscribe, hit the bell. The next state's coming up in a week to 10 days. Join us around the country on the 50 most Googled recipes in the United States of America. You're gonna have main dishes, side dishes, and insane desserts. This is Chef Sal, Chef Sal's Crazy Cooking Show. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.